After enduring weeks of frustration in the United States, substance abuse therapist Daniqua Williams is finally home. She was among a group of nearly 200 Bahamians and residents who were repatriated on Friday after being stuck in the United States due to the COVID-19 lockdown. The Grand Bahama resident says while the process was far from perfect, she is thankful to be back home.
Although it was a long process, it went well, it went smoothly. I felt compassion and professionalism from all the parties that took place yesterday. So I just want to say thank you to the Bahamas government for bringing us all home with dignity. And thank you.
Williams has been living in the United States for nearly a year after attaining a master's degree in clinical mental health counseling. While she was working as a therapist at a substance abuse center, she says she was also preparing to return home to the Bahamas, but those plans were derailed by the COVID-19 pandemic and the Minutes administration's decision to shut down the country's borders.
So I was very frustrated because I have been planning to move back home for a few weeks now, and so during all these weeks I've been calling the Bahamas consulate for a long time, trying to get some answers, and it was a very frustrating process for me because they didn't tell me until last minute while I was still at work in the middle of seeing a client that they called me and told me that I had to come over on the next day at 2 o'clock. So that was frustrating because of the kind of work that I do. It's very frowned upon to just leave your clients and with them being in such a fragile state.
The flights came amid controversy that heightened in the last week over the landing of permanent residents on a private aircraft. The arrival of a group of 6 on April 29th led to the resignation of Dr. Dwayne Sands as Minister of Health over what the Prime Minister termed a breach of protocol regulating the return of Bahamians and permanent residents. Williams said news that those residents were allowed in while the borders continued to be closed to her made an already frustrating situation much worse.
I thought that was unjust and unfair because me as a citizen, I've been trying my hardest to come home myself for a few weeks now.
Williams, who said she is most looking forward to connecting with family and friends, was one of the people placed in a quarantine facility. Questions about the suitability of the quarantine facilities, which are being manned by members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, came after a video of a woman who is purportedly in quarantine at the Breezes Resort on New Providence made the rounds on social media yesterday. The woman, who claimed that she was initially told that she would be allowed to go home, decried the condition of her hotel room, which she claimed had mold. She also sounded off on the inadequacy of the provisions that were left for her. But Williams, who is in quarantine on Grand Bahama, says she has a much different experience.
So far, my experience in quarantine is good. I'm in a clean, safe environment. It's heavily guarded.
Now that she is back in the Bahamas, Williams said she intends to continue helping others. She says she is gearing up to launch Free Your Mind counseling services in June and will offer voice and video counseling sessions for people suffering from a wide range of mental health conditions. Initially, Williams said she will offer free consultations. Reporting for Guardian News Network, I'm Jasmine Brown.